am so excited for this video and I'm so excited to be going on this journey with you guys. If you are anything like me, you are in a little bit of a quarter life crisis. So you're feeling a little bit lost, you're not really sure where to go next, you are feeling out of sorts, like you're in like a little bit of a rut, like you aren't taking care of yourself the way that you usually used to. You're not expressing yourself the way you used to. You're just feeling just like in that rut, and I'm with you, I'm here with you. I guess I'll start with why I want to go on a little bit of a self-improvement journey. I just feel like this is the age where I want to become the woman I'm meant to be, and I'm ready to take control of my life and do it now. So for the last year or so, I have been feeling a little bit lost. I feel like when I left my corporate fashion job, I lost a lot of structure, and it's led me to get into a lot of my more indulgent bad habits. I'm not the best at routine. I'm not the best at just being consistent in that way when it comes to self-care, and taking away the structure of you have to be somewhere in public with people every day away from me really just allowed me to just rot all the time. I could rot for days on end and still be posting content. No one would know that I haven't left my bed, but I'm in my bed rotting for days, and it definitely led to a lot more anxiety, depression, everything. I have no idea what's going on next. And I've always been a big next person. I was an overachieving, straight A student all through high school, through college. I was just always that very ambitious, driven, you can't tell me the word no type of person. And suddenly I was I have no idea what is next. The future is just a giant blur, and I have no desire to do today, to do tomorrow, to do anything. Now I am so ready to answer that question mark. I have an idea of what I think the next big thing for me is, and we'll get to that later in this series, but for right now, I'm ready to find those answers. I'm ready to hit the ground running. I'm ready to be the best version of myself and become that girl. And if you are ready to become that girl, listen up, because we're gonna do it together. This year will be the year that we become the best version of ourselves. Before I get into the 4 major areas of my life that I want to change, I do want to shout out the parts of my life that I feel like I have done a really, really good job of thriving in. And I encourage you to do the same. Before you leap into what you want to change, I want you to write down what you were great at this year and the parts of your life that don't need change. Because even when you're lost, even when you're in a rut, there are still parts of your life that you are doing well in. And for me, I would say the first one is definitely my friendships. I feel like I have amazing, amazing friends, and I do a great job of connecting with my friends, and I am so grateful for the people that I've surrounded myself with. And even in an industry where there's so much negativity and catty girls and just a lot going on, I feel like I've done a really good job of keeping my real core friends close to my heart and treating them with respect and having integrity for myself. I do not waver when it comes to my values in any way, and if something doesn't align with my values, I don't invest in that anymore, and I'm really proud of myself that I know who I am in that respect. So much authentic love around me. Great I am in my own relationship. I feel like me and Asher have an amazing connection and partnership and everything like that, and I'm proud to be his wife. I'm just so happy and proud that I'm in such a loving environment and that I've created that life for myself. The third thing that I'm really, really proud of, other than my friendships and my relationship with my husband, is definitely my relationship with myself. I still really do feel like I have a strong idea of who I am, what my values are, what makes me me, and just this inner confidence that has always really been delusional in a way. I knew from a very early age that I would not ever have anything less than what I wanted. I knew anything that I set my mind to, I could achieve. And right now I feel like I just was a little lost on what I actually wanted to achieve, but I know deep down once I pick what I want, I will get it. And I think that that is something that no one can ever take away from you. It's just like your belief in yourself. And I feel like I'm really, really good at that. This is how we are going to make this the year of us, the year of me, the year of you, the year of becoming her. I actually got this idea from this creator that I follow on TikTok, but she did it a little bit differently. So I'm gonna put her app name here, but basically last year she broke down every month of the year with specific goals that she wanted to accomplish and like really focus on one by one. So she only had like 12 goals, and that was that for each month to like really focus on it. And I think she's doing it again this year, but like with even more specific goals. And for me, I feel like 1 month is not enough for me to really get into a routine of things. So I'm breaking up my year into 4 parts. So pretty much 3 months each, and each 3-month section, we are going to focus on one area of our life that we really, really, really want to perfect before we move into the next section. If this seems like a lot to you still, you can even do 6 months. So maybe like 6 months you do one goal, 6 months you do the other goal, or you could just spend the entire year just on one goal. But I had a few things that I wanted to change, and there were 4 major areas of my life. The 4 areas of my life that I'm going to radically transform this year, you can pick whatever you want. These are what I'm working on if you want to work on them with me. So the first part of the year, January, February, March, will be focused on wellness. I need to build a routine. I need to take care of my body. I need to really start feeding my body nutrients and moving my body and getting into habits, healthy habits, establishing a morning routine, establishing a night routine, building myself up for a solid foundation for success. Because if your body and your mind is not healthy, you can't really accomplish anything else. So that is going to be the first 3 months of this challenge for me. So in the first quarter of the year, January, February, March, we are focusing on wellness and health and mindfulness and all of that good jazz. We are developing a morning routine, we're developing a night routine, we are moving our bodies, we are eating right, feeding our bodies with nutrients, we are making sure to take our vitamins, we are going to be reading, we are going to be journaling, we're going to be being mindful of our mental health. And I'll be doing a deep dive at the end of the video of the first quarter of this challenge and what specifically I will be doing. But that is just a brief little overview before we go into the last 3 sections, because each section will get their own intro video at the beginning of their months. The next section for me will be career and personal finance. So I have student loans and I want to get those student loans paid off ASAP. And I also want to start a business one day. So I'm going to come up with a business plan in these first 3 months on how I'm going to make my dream business happen. I'm going to come up with a plan on how I'm going to pay off my student loans in the fastest way possible, and I'm going to come up with ways that I can diversify my income. Like, I make most of my income based on brand partnerships, affiliate links, and also on whatever TikTok or YouTube or whatever pays me. But I want to diversify that even more. That could potentially mean getting another full-time job, because double the income. I can put all of one income to my student loans, and I can put all of the rest of the other income to like living and myself. But it could also mean like maybe investing in real estate, starting another side hustle that could bring in some passive income of some sorts. I'm going to experiment with so many different things and figure out a way to increase my income, diversify my income so that I can get those loans paid off ASAP and also get the funding to start a business. So money, career, finance, what those next steps are will be April, May, and June of this year. There'll be a full video in April of like a deep dive on how we're gonna do that. And if you're also in a student loan kind of journey yourself, that'll be super fun and helpful part of this series. For the third part, we have personal style. So I actually love the way that I dress. I think that I have pretty good style, but I want to take it to the next level. I want to be more intentional with my style. I really want to hone in on like what is Renata's style. I feel like I'm still in an experimental stage where I like try things from all these different aesthetics and whatever. And I don't think that I will ever fit into one aesthetic, but I want to create my own aesthetic. I want you to look at an item and be like, that's so Renata. And I want to think that for myself, and I want to kind of build an archive of just beautiful, thoughtful, intentional pieces and have them really, really all feel like me. I just never want to look at my closet again and be like, I hate everything. I don't know what to wear. I just want every piece to feel like me, to feel loved, to be used. I want pieces that I can use over and over again in style in so many different ways. And I already have that a little bit, but I really want to narrow it down and make a signature style. It's gonna be like a whole style journey. And I will be asking myself and you guys tons of questions on what defines you, what makes you excited, what colors do you love, what fabrics and textures and everything, so that you guys can also figure out what your personal style is along the way. So that'll be July, August, September. So for the final part of the year, October, November, December, I'm focusing on hobbies and joy. And these are all hobbies that are only for enjoyment, like nothing that you can monetize, nothing that you're gonna make a side hustle over. These are just hobbies that will make you happy, and figuring out how to just like do things that are just for joy. And I feel like it's the perfect time of year to do that, because the holidays are a time of celebration. The holidays are a time to unwind and congratulate yourself and practice gratitude and just like give yourself all the joy, because you've made it through another year and you've made it through all of the hard things and all of the good things. And by the time we complete all of these different focuses throughout the year, we will be a better version of ourselves. We'll be a happier version of ourselves, and we will then be set up for success to shine in 2025 and accomplish all of our bigger, greater, wilder dreams. But since we are focusing on wellness in the first section, the first thing you're gonna do if you're doing wellness as well is to write out your dream routine. Like, what does a dream day in the life look like? What are you doing? What times are you journaling? What times are you working out? What times are you just getting everything done? And that is gonna be like a framework for what you're gonna try to accomplish. So for me, I have a 6 a.m., 6:15 wake up, and I'm going to work out for at least 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna make it back to my apartment, shower, put on makeup, put on my skincare, drink a green juice, eat a healthy breakfast, and be ready to go by 9 a.m. I wanna be done with all of that routine stuff by 8:45, 9 a.m. just because I never know if I'll end up going back to a 9 to 5. If you are working a 9 to 5, like that is a schedule that you would have to do, I think, to be able to fit in a lot of things, unless you're a nighttime working out person. But I definitely am not a nighttime working out person. I get so tired in the afternoons, so it's gotta be done in the morning. And then I just blocked out like when I'd be working on my content and everything. And then for the afternoon, I have an afternoon walk with Tabby. I have making dinner time. I have some TV and like spending quality time with my husband, like a date night time. And then be showered, doing my nighttime routine, done by 9:30, 10 o'clock, so I can have enough sleep. So that is kind of my dream routine. You're gonna write that out. You're gonna figure out what you wanna prioritize, when you wanna read in the day, when you wanna do whatever. Because that'll be a framework for your next 3 months. Then you're gonna wanna establish rules for yourself. So since we're in the wellness section, we are going to be establishing some wellness rules. And for me, those rules are only 2 hours of scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everything. Limiting your social media time definitely helps your mental health. And I want to spend more time creating and less time scrolling. 2 is work out 5 to 6 times per week. 3 is to increase protein, veggies, and fiber in every meal. So whenever I'm about to sit down to eat, I'm going to think, how can I add more vitamins, more nutrients, more protein, more fiber, everything to that meal? Number 4 is to meditate and journal every day. And 5 is to not hit snooze. So the last part of my routine and my wellness plan is to incorporate things into your life that will set you up for success. So basically prep. For me, that means meal prepping on Sundays. I meal prep in a very specific way because I don't really like those like meal leftovers. Like, I don't know. I don't like food to touch either, but we'll get to that in my meal prep video. But That's prepping your lunches, prepping your breakfasts, making your juices ahead of time, laying your clothes out the night before so that you don't have to think about what to wear in the morning. And you need to get all of that prep so that like when you're up, when you're ready to go, you just have to grab it and go. It'll make life easier. It'll make it easier to stick to your habits. So that is my last step for that. And those are just like the things that I'm doing to start out this first 3 months. So I have my dream schedule written out. I have my rules. I started prepping. I'm filming this like midway through my first week of doing this. So you will see how that goes in my vlog. I do want to talk about a final part to my routine that I'm not encouraging you guys to do. It just was such a personal choice and something that I felt was necessary for me to be successful in this. And it's kind of something that I am really nervous about sharing because it has such a stigma. But after the experiences that I've had recently, I think it's the right decision for me. So I have decided to go on a GLP-1 medication. You guys might know that as Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound, Trellis, all of these things. Basically, I'm going on Ozempic. And this was not an easy decision, but after the experience that I had in Brazil and everything, just like a few health scares throughout the year, I really, really feel like this will set me up for success and make me the most successful in being the healthiest version of myself. I'm not going on Ozempic for aesthetic reasons. Honestly, if I'm being completely candid, if I was doing something for aesthetic reasons, I would go and get a BBL, not go on Ozempic. Because the most thing that I would say that I guess I'm uncomfortable about or insecure about in my body is not the size of my body, it's the shape of my body. Like, I have a really flat butt and all my weight is in my stomach. So if I was doing things for aesthetics, I'd be getting a BBL. But I'm not doing that because I'm not doing something for aesthetics, and I would never go under the knife just to look good. Like, whatever standards society has, I'm not going under the knife for. And I would not put my body through any medical risk if it was just for something vain. I'm not shaming people who do plastic surgery or fillers or anything like that, but that's just not how I'd want to live my life. I'm doing this purely for health, and honestly, the Ozempic's probably gonna like make my butt even flatter in a bad way. And who cares? Because it's not about the way I look. It's about what's on the inside, and this will help me hopefully bring down my blood pressure, bring down my cholesterol, bring down all of the other risk factors that I currently have that are making me feel not my best. I have been so scared of sharing this because I don't want anyone to feel betrayed, and I have built a platform on loving your body, loving yourself, and everything like that. And I know what it feels like when you see a creator with a similar body type to you suddenly lose weight and then like be really mean to their former self and everything like that. And I promise you that that is not what's going to happen here, and that this is really, really just health focused. Like, there are people out there with my body type who look like me who are 100% healthy. Like, they can go take a blood test right now and they are at peak health. And for me, that is not the case. And I need to address that, or else I will not live a long life. Like, I will have a ton of complications later in life, and I'm already starting to experience that. So in 2022, my doctors noticed that I had high blood pressure, and it was pretty consistent, and they were starting to like raise some flags. They're like, it's time for you to figure that out. Like, you don't want to be on medication for the rest of your life and all of this stuff. And since then, it has only gotten worse. I have tried countless times to really commit to a new diet, to really figure out how to fix that problem, and I am just not capable of doing it on my own. I have only ever done one like weight loss journey, and if I'm being completely honest with you, the only reason I was successful in that was because at the time I hated myself. And I don't hate myself now. Like, I think I look fine. I look in the mirror and I think that I'm beautiful, and because I don't have that fire, like, even with the health thing on the line, it is just not enough for me to have the willpower to do this. I have tried countless times, I failed countless times, and each time I fail, I feel like a failure. And I keep asking myself, why am I not going on something that will help me? And I consulted 2 doctors. I've also sat on my prescription for like months now. Like I was prescribed this back in September, and I didn't get it back then because of availability, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to get it. I'm glad that I had the time to think about it. And I think what really put things into perspective for me was during my trip to Brazil, I had a fear that I had a blood clot in my leg because after my 10-hour flight, I had extreme pain in my leg. I had to go to the hospital in Brazil. And when I got to the hospital, my blood pressure was like insane. Like it was insane. Luckily, it was not a blood clot. But for 2 hours while I was waiting for test results, all I could think about was that I did this, like I partially did this to myself. And there were things that I could have done that could prevent things like this from happening. The blood clot would not be caused by high blood pressure because that would have been caused by like the 10-hour flight and everything. But all I could think about when I was sitting in that waiting room, waiting for the test results and if I had deep vein thrombosis or not, which if you don't know what that is, that's basically developing a blood clot in your leg. And the 5 things that I had that would contribute to that happening was I went on a long flight. It was 10 hours. And I didn't move that much. I take a hormonal birth control. I also got my COVID shot, which was a little scary. I got it like 2 days before. And I'm overweight and I have high blood pressure. And I was sitting there thinking the 2 things that I had control over, I just like treated like it was nothing. And that's what made me realize like I need to take control of those things because I don't want to be on medication the rest of my life. I don't want to have other health complications because of my unhealthy habits. I've started noticing over the last year that some of the things that I really enjoy, I had a hard time doing. Like, again, when I was in Brazil, we had to climb up these stairs to go to Christ the Redeemer, and I had such a hard time climbing the stairs. Like, my friends and my husband were like so far ahead of me, and I could not keep up. I was out of breath, and I don't want to be that way. When I went to go see Lana Del Rey at Outside Lands Festival, standing for that long, even jumping to dance in the crowd at times was very difficult for me. I was just like, I did not feel good. And I also fainted on that flight. That was a whole other thing that really scared me as well. And it's just like, I feel like I'm not living life and able to do the things that I really want to do. And you guys don't see this online, but I'm a very unhealthy person. And then when it comes to eating, I get into these loops of where I will eat fast food days on days and days on end. And it's become such a problem. And I'm just like, I need the help. Like, my hunger sometimes is insatiable. And I know myself and I know that I need the help and I should not be ashamed of the help. This is not an easy way out. Despite what people think, GLP-1 medications are not a magic pill. They're helpful, but you still need to put in the lifestyle changes or else you will be unwell. You'll be malnourished. Like, my doctor has me on a ton of supplements to help with my nutrition. I have a meal plan with a health coach that will help me to get the right nutrients that I need. I need to be hitting a certain amount of protein. I need to be hitting a certain amount of fiber in every meal and all these other micronutrients as well to make sure that like I am healthy on this. It is totally not an easy way out, but I think that it will help me with the things that I really struggle with, which is the extreme hunger and the food noise. Like, I have such bad food noise in my mind and I'm always thinking about what to eat. I'm always thinking about meals. I'm always thinking about all these things, and like, hopefully it will make it stop. A lot of people who've been on these medications says that it does help them stop that, and I want that to help me. I just really want to emphasize that I'm not encouraging you to do this. This was a health decision I thought about for months. This was something that like I really just like took everything into consideration. It really took a lot of debating, and I also am being very vulnerable by sharing this with you guys before I've even really started it. I'm going to start it by the time this video is live, probably tomorrow. I'm doing the first week of my wellness without it, and then I'm gonna go into it because I wanna start all of my supplements first and kind of like test out eating right first and have like a really fresh diet so that hopefully I'll avoid some of the gastrointestinal issues. So yeah, that is something that I will be doing. I wanna be real with you guys. I wanna be upfront with you guys and transparent, and I will explain how everything is going, all the side effects, all of the benefits, all of everything throughout this journey. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.